Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome to meeting number 2 of the Greenleigh Community Boundary Study. We're here at Vincent Farm Elementary School Cafeteria. Welcome to all those who are joining us here in person. Welcome to all those joining us online. Thanks to our friends at BCPS-TV who are live streaming with us tonight. Invite all our committee members to please sign in on the green sheets and have a seat at your committee tables up front. And any observers that may be joining us this evening, invite you to sign in on the pink sheets and please have a seat at the observer tables in the back. Please take a moment, if you would, just to look around, note the exit signs in the room. In the event of an emergency that we would have to evacuate, our best exits are the exit to the rear, out to the parking lot, or we can use the exit in the back out through the main hallway the way we came in. And thanks to signing in, we would be able to take attendance and roster outside to make sure that we've accounted for everyone, so thank you. Again, thanks to all the offices that have supported us throughout this process. I believe we have there we go. And if you have any questions this evening, our BCPS staff members are wearing the orange badges tonight. This meeting is all our previous meetings and tonight's meeting links. Materials from tonight's meeting will be available at our website at www.bcps.org. If you follow the link at the bottom of the page to the boundary studies, and you can find the link to the Greenleigh Community Boundary Study. You'll find all those materials there. You'll find the comment section there where members of the public can leave comments for the committee. I don't believe we received any comments through that link. So if you would like to make comments, those comments will close tomorrow at the conclusion of this meeting. So you are certainly welcome to leave your comments for the committee there. Remind our committee members that because we are live streaming, if you have anything to say this evening, please raise your hand and we'll be around with a microphone to make sure that we capture your voices for the audiences at home. Remind any observers that may be joining us in person, please, we have rules of behavior for observers on the back table, and we invite you to please read those and remind you to please not engage with the committee members. Please don't approach them and respect their workspace. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Mike Godfredson from Strategic Planning.
Thanks, Chris. All right, so tonight will be a fairly simple agenda. We'll review, again, just for a few folks that weren't here last time, what the recommendation is. We'll review the survey results and then give you a chance to vote on the recommendation. Reminder of the timelines: we've had the one meeting, the one public information session, and then tonight's meeting. Following tonight's meeting, there's a few more things on the agenda or on the calendar. Board recommendation in April, board public hearing in May, and then the decision in May as well. So just a reminder of the objective of this study. The objective was to realign the attendance boundaries for the Greenleigh residential development that is currently under construction to mitigate potential transportation issues. The schools affected by this are Chase and Vincent Farm. This shows the area. So this area down here currently under construction. It's remarkable how quickly they're moving on this stuff. You know, we started this in the summer, and as we kind of going out there each time, they kind of keep throwing stuff up. So that's kind of the urgency on this. So if you notice here, so the purple line here is the current boundary. The yellow is the Greenleigh development, and as you can tell on that, this part that's under construction is currently in the Chase Elementary School boundary instead of the Vincent Farm with the rest of Greenleigh. There's 105 homes in here with no students currently residing in that. I think, and double check that as of this morning, but getting the nod here that we don't have anyone in there yet. So that's what we're looking at here. The recommendation then would move the boundary line for Vincent Farm down to go to the backyards of all those folks. For Vincent, so Greenleigh would all be in Vincent Farm out of Chase. Like to implement this before the students are affected, and then this will provide a more efficient transportation for the unbuilt area so that the same bus can service all these students in here. All right, So things since our last meeting, so we held a public information session to gather feedback from the community. An online survey was conducted simultaneously with that, so beginning that night, going through the 3rd. We had 34 total respondents participated in the online survey, pretty good for a study of this nature, so we always appreciate the involvement. So most of the respondents were from the Vincent Farm community. We had a little bit of we often get this as we do these, so we had 44%, so the blue are those that were strongly in favor or somewhat in favor, and because of the rounding, these numbers may not add up. If we have any of the math teachers in here, that's why, for the rounding. So we have 44 somewhat or strongly in favor, with 29 somewhat opposed or strongly opposed, and then this big block in 26% in neutral. So just to kind of talk about this a little bit and explain kind of what we saw. So in your packets, you've also got it. Again, some of these studies we get like thousands of things, and that's hard to kind of read through. Where this smaller, you can kind of pretty easily go through that and see both. So we have both the numeric, what people responded, but also the text that for each, whether they liked it or whether they approved of it or disapproved of it, there was an opportunity to provide text comments. So you see in there, not everyone, it's not a required thing. Not everyone that took the survey provided comments, but those that did are provided they're broken out by whether or not they approved it or not. And as you go through that, you'll notice both in the text as well as in the question of the survey, those that were supported the idea of maintaining the neighborhood continuity. Those that opposed, really the main message that at least that I perceived, and I don't know if you guys see any differently, was kind of the same thing some of you brought up at our first meeting. Just this idea that Vincent Farm already has a very high utilization here, and is this just going to make that worse? And just a couple things to remember, as we talked about last time with like the projections, these were students that were already included in the Vincent Farm projections. So as we've been analyzing things to address both in the short term and long term to address this overcrowding at Vincent Farm, this doesn't affect any of those things. So all those things we're currently doing, we'll continue to do to try to address what we certainly recognize that, and we're as a system working to address that both in the short and the long term. So with that, I'll just let you guys a minute. So again, we had a few folks that are new. If you guys have any things you want to talk about, we can. If you guys are ready to roll, we can go on. Does anybody have any questions or anything you want to say? All right, so I'm going to hand out these. Manu, if you want to help me real quick. All right, I think I counted these right, but if I'm not, we'll do this. So the principals don't get one of these. These are our voting devices. Yeah, I got her. You're good? You don't have to.
I do not know what is in his mind. I know what is in my mind. But then you're going to be on 2 different platforms.
It's up to you.
Okay, I can do that.
You good? Okay. All right. And we appreciate having our advisory rep here. Thank you for being here. Good work you do. Okay, so just again, real simple. So we really like these devices. We find them pretty handy for this. So these are each one's got an active vote. It's really simple. We'll have A is yes, B is no. We need to have 51% to recommend the option. Principals don't vote. So Manu, if you want to go out to the active vote thing. All right, so here we go. So Manu's going to light that up. And we've got 6 numbers here representing each stuff. On the back of your thing, there's a number, so you can make sure. So once you voted, your number will light up here with the little orange or red call-out button there. So we just have one more, number 5. All right, so everyone's good. If we need to give you a minute to change your mind, we can. I think we're good. So go ahead, close that menu. Oh, there we go. So we got 83.3 and 6, and that's probably, 5 and 1. So very good. So the recommendations going forward with that vote noted. We want to go back to the presentation. So with that, Just before we move on, does anyone have anything they want to say? Just express anything we can pass on to the board or anything as we do our thing? All right. So the next steps we have, like I mentioned before, so the next time this will be brought forward, the recommendation will be given to the board on Tuesday, April 8th. The board public hearing will be on Wednesday, May 7th. And then the Board of Education decision will take place on May 20th. And then following that, we'll have the implementation where we'll notify all these folks of the, by mail of the change. So with that, just want to say thank you. We know that this was 3 nights of your life that you sacrificed for this. We really appreciate you doing that and looking out what's the best interest of our students. So thank you again for being here and all that you've done.